How is it going to be different in the sprint, to the sprint race in the main race today?
Well, you think with that medium rear tyre, the grip level's going to feel different. So I heard Jack Miller on the grid say that it feels hard on the left-hand side. This will be a really fast warm-up lap, by the way. I'm just watching them because they're trying to activate the tyres. It's something you always talk about. These Michelin slicks are fantastic once you get them to that right working temperature. So you've got to push hard on this opening lap.
55,000 in today, 107 over the weekend. You could see from the helicopter shot where the track is starting to clean up, where the rubber is being laid down. You get off it, as we've seen in Moto 2 and Moto 3, and the results could be disastrous.
Yeah, you saw Joe Roberts on that last lap. It was a normal move he made to try to go up to the inside, but he touched the dirty part of the track, and I tell you what, it just came round him and flicked him off the balls. There was nothing he could do. The opening lap of this MotoGP race will be treacherous.
We saw so many mistakes on the opening lap from everyone yesterday. Marquez made, he said, 3 himself. But then he was clean as a whistle, right to the flag. He needs to do the same again, just stay in front as long as possible. It's his race to lose, it feels like, Neil.
And it will feel different though. It's the main race. You've got a full tank of fuel on the opening lap. I've mentioned a lot this weekend. Braking on angle. When you have a full tank of fuel, it pitches a little bit quicker, feels a bit heavy. You use a bit more front stroke, a bit more front suspension, and it can push that tyre. So that's what the riders have got to deal with.
44 degrees Celsius, the track temperature, 111 Fahrenheit on the top. Worried about the heat generation in these chairs. I'll tell you what, they might be getting battering today around the next 23 laps in the Grand Prix of Aragon. Sat down.
Che insomma su piena ben fase libera di Bao
Ready to go. Rocky Balboni gets there.
ancora è stata
Will Marc Marquez take his first win in nearly 3 years? Or will there be a fight back from Bagnaia and Martin? Here we go. We're underway in the Grand Prix of Aragon. No, look at Bagnaia. Slipping and sliding all over the place. At the first corner, he's down to about 8th place again. And that's just the dirt. There's going to be more collisions in there. That was so tight through turn 1. But Bagnaia was dropped like a stone once more. It's Marquez leading from Acosta in second and Alex Marquez in third.
I feel sorry for Bagnaia. He did nothing wrong. He let the clutch out, but he was on the dirty part of the track. He started to spin. This time he didn't shut the throttle. He kept on it, but that actually didn't help because it span all the way to the first corner.
You see, he's just in front of Brad Binder now, lining in 7th place. Binder in 8th. Miguel Oliveira has made another good launch at the start. Jorge Martin's attacking Alex Marquez. Chance for him to open up the gap in the championship. It stands at 3, but it's growing every single position he makes, with Marquez leading. It's Acosta again in second. Alex Marquez drops to 4 behind Jorge Martin. Morbidelli's made a good launch. He was on the dirty side of the track, but he made it work. He's in 5th. Oliveira's 6th. Bagnaia 7th.
Yeah, you look at Pedro Acosta there in second place. And then just on the Marquez and whatever.
Alex Marquez straight away just has to take a different line, doesn't he? Can't get the direct drive down towards turn 1. So, Mark leading by 2.2 from Jorge Martin, and Alex Marquez is in third place. The gap to Acosta stands at 0.9 of a second. Personal best laps for Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta, who maybe is just settling into a little bit in form.
This is going to be a long race for Marc Marquez. When you're at the front, so early on with a decent gap, 2.2, you don't know what's breathing down your neck. There's 19 laps to go. This is going to feel like an eternity. He's so precise when he's so early on with a decent gap, 2.2, you don't know what's going to be having your neck breathing. If you're going on a normal track, if you get your braking a bit wrong, you can brake a bit wide and lose a little bit of time here. You have to accept the penalty almost and lose 0.3, 0.4 of a second.
We're at this stage of the race. This is the 5th lap of 23, and Marquez is 2.2 clear of Martin, but nearly 4 seconds quicker than his brother. He is 5 seconds ahead of Acosta and Morbidelli, and over 5 seconds ahead of Bagnaia. We're only on lap 5. Here we go. Binder again, having a think about going through on Bagnaia. But Bagnaia looked in better condition than he did yesterday. He only intimated, he never said anything about the Michelin front at all. He made a gesture to the Michelin mechanic, as if to say 2 tyres that have been bad, but he never once said anything. We know Michelin spoke to the teams at the start of the year saying, hang about, we are an official partner here, and it's in your contract to not say anything bad about us. There was a little touch-up, wasn't there, at the start of the year, but the intimation was there. I just wonder, Michelin's point of view was, you were running the soft rear tyre and there is grip on this track and it was pushing the front. Yeah. What's your reading of the situation?
I just think that Bagnaia got a slightly faulty one. Maybe one of the... I mean, Michelin will have checked it, they will have seen that there is nothing obviously wrong with it, but a rider like Pecco Bagnaia doesn't finish 20 seconds behind the winner in a sprint race. He never has done, and he probably won't do again. Sometimes it can happen. I mean, the quality control is absolutely incredible what they do.
It's also pressure, depending on what pressure you're setting it at the start. That can make a little, 0.1 of a difference there. In terms of PSI, could make all the difference.
Mark just said the fastest lap of this race, 48.2.
With the yellow flag in that first sector there. Is it Quartararo? I think it might be. Yeah, Fabio Quartararo has crashed out. Well, he was weird because I thought he had a great race yesterday, but he was quite Debbie Downer on his race yesterday, and the fact that he had
the braking zone, fast ones.
Oh.
We've seen a few this weekend. There. Did he crash earlier this weekend? I know Martin did.
Yeah, a couple of people did, didn't they? Just it's just that braking on and lean, isn't it? And when the track gets dirty like this, your tyres aren't responding as you'd like. Down goes Quartararo. He'll be very unhappy at that. I'm looking at the Aprilias of Maverick Vinales and Aleix Espargaro.
Not working.
14th and 19th. Aleix in 14th, Vinales in 19th. Raul Fernandez top of Aprilia in 12th. They should drop a couple of positions, so Raul is now behind Aleix. This is Jack Miller battling with Enea Bastianini for 9th place. With Fabio Di Gianantonio, I have to say, doing a sterling job considering his dislocated left shoulder from last time out. The race against time to be fit this weekend, but he's toughing it out. Enea Bastianini, again, it feels like he's quicker, but he's having to take his time to get past. He always is quite he doesn't take too many risky moves. He did yesterday.
He's not a wild rider, is he? Over the years, if you really think about the way he rides.
Here we go. Oh, hello.
Just to make me look silly, dives up the inside, the rear steps out, but that just shows he went onto a dirty part of the track. You've no grip.
That was a really good demonstration of it, wasn't it? Thanks, Enea. I'm sure he wasn't doing it for our audience, but Bastianini showing, you try and get off the line there and try to get that rear hooking up, and he's just sliding on the way into the corner. Right, there's Alex Marquez in third. Jorge Martin is 2.6 on the road. Alex is nearly a second ahead of Acosta behind him. Then we get this back.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued to see what happens going to make it almost going to generate even more heat into the tyre. There's been lots of whinging and moaning in the paddock this weekend.
And that's with a newly laid surface, and I do feel for the organisers. I do for me.
I have to say though, I've been here loads and the old surface was pretty good. I think that's why. I think they didn't do what most tracks do.
Most tracks let it get to a point where the surface is that bad that everybody complains so much. So it's like a breath of fresh air when you've relayed it. But this surface will be fine in a year's time. It's just that period where it takes to cure up really and really settle in.
You said it was billion smooth, didn't you? When you were saying
Absolutely billion smooth. Billion smooth, but not confidence inspiring. The bike sort of moves underneath you only a little bit, even at the slow speeds I was going at. You're just like, I'm not sure where the tyres are at here.
Morbidelli's a tough nut to crack here for Bagnaia, isn't it? Because Bagnaia just doesn't want to take too much risk. Morbidelli's got his bike, 24, he can get it sat down and punched out of the corners, which would be Bagnaia's strength normally. And so that means anything he's got to do is going to be a late move on the brakes, but he's going to really have to work on setting it up. It sounds a bit deep for Morbidelli.
Yeah, and the problem is Morbidelli, he's quite a defensive rider at the moment because he's not confident. And Jack Miller's the same. What's a defensive rider look like? Well, it's a rider who breaks late everywhere, misses the odd apex, but you can't pass them because of the narrow racing line. And again, Binder can't get through on Bagnaia, even though he looks stronger, doesn't he? Yeah. In that, those left-handers, through here as well, you can see it's stronger, but there's no move into here. If you try into there, it's such a block pass. You do a Fermin Aldeguer, which that was something else, by the way. We didn't talk about that. That was a strange move in the Moto 2 race.
Well, I'll tell you what,
he got such a drive
there.
But look, now that's what do you do? How do you pass him now?
I mean, he was a little bit deep, wasn't he, in that part?
Yeah.
But still, the Ducati just pulls away. But Binder has not got a shot.
Races when you're like, if you're Binder now, because you're waiting for an opportunity. You just hope someone goes wide. I tell you what, Bagnaia thought about it then.
He absolutely did, didn't he? He really set that up. Sacrificed a little bit to get the drive into the home straight and wasn't close enough.
It might have to go up into 5, so this is turn 3, then we've got the fast kick of 4.
So that went for Enea Bastianini.
Let's say that's a reward for being patient. You sit there and keep under the pressure.
Marquez on that lap by 0.3 of a second. 2.5 seconds now the gap between the two Spanish riders. So we'll just have to see if Martin can keep chipping away. It would feel like Marquez, well, he just pulled another 3/10 back in the second split. Sector 2 and Sector 4. This is the third sector. And Sector 4 is the final corner.
Yeah.
And he's better than anyone in any of them. In fact, Jorge Martin says he's taking 4/10 in Sector 2, I think.
Yeah, 4/10.
It was 3 on that occasion. So, again, we'll see here. The gap was 2.7 through the third split. Is Marquez reacting? Nice, healthy margin across the line, 2.7 seconds. All of it trying just not to stress his tyre.
Did he respond? What do you reckon? Fastest lap of the race. And it's like, whoa, hang on a minute. I'm not even gonna give you a sniff. I don't even want 5% of your brain thinking you're gonna catch me. So stretch the lead out now, and then back in like you're back into full control of the race.
He is over a second quicker than Pedro Acosta, Pecco Bagnaia, Brad Binder, and the rest. Only rider matching similar times to the leaders. You probably guess it, we say it every week. Enea Bastianini, he's the only one other than the front two in the 48s. Everyone else in the 49s, Miller, Nakagami and the rest in the 50s. Jean Zarco's just underneath the 150 barrier, but he's down in 70.
Vinales in the 51s.
not his conditions, are they?
They're not his conditions at all. When you think of Maverick and what he achieved in America, you watch him literally float in the front and the rear, just walking on water. An exceptional ride. And here he is in 19th place, 37 seconds behind after 9 laps, riding around 3 seconds, or more, 4 seconds off the pace.
The reason they call him Mercurial, Maverick Vinales.
In his defence, though, his teammate's a mile off, isn't he? Like we said,
Yeah.
Aleix, who's never slow.
So Pedro Acosta has been given a signal from his team to switch his map. Be the map that with a lower fuel tank, with the tyre starting to degrade, and they'll have worked it all out. What they need, perhaps, to get to the end of the race. Perhaps how you're going to dose out the power to keep your tyre in check. Marquez on that lap was just 6/10 quicker than Jorge Martin. Might well have broken the elastic.
Yeah, that's what happens. You break the spirit of the rider. The rider thinks, hang on a minute, I've got a chance here. He's coming back to me. And the next lap, there's always a point on the track when you're following someone that you have your own little mental, you work out if someone's pulling or if you're gaining on them. Obviously, you know what's happening behind through your pit board, but usually looking forward, you're working it all out yourself.
We discussed earlier, I think Susie mentioned it, top 5 yesterday, independent team riders. Martin Raines confirmed that. He went through the stats. His wife's 70th birthday yesterday, and he still managed to take the time to check the stats. That's dedication from Raines. Happy birthday to Val too, always neat here.
Really?
Pedro Acosta. I was just about to say, well, I better do it before Bagnaia gets past. Top 4 independent team in the Grand Prix here. Marquez, Jorge Martin, Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta, but that might be about to change with the factory Ducati ready to go through on the inside, but again, cannot take the risk.
No, I'm glad he didn't there, because they'd have both been sliding down the road.
The risk reward isn't big enough in that situation.
Absolutely not.
Bagnaia. Switch to mapping 2. Maybe he's putting Acosta under a bit of pressure. And the power here, laid down to the ground by Bagnaia. Look how he pulled away from Binder. And he should get past Acosta here. Levels him, but we know if Pecco Bagnaia is a demon on the brakes, Pedro Acosta is as well keen to match it too, but
It's the different lines through that corner. Pedro could sense Pecco there, so he braked a little bit deeper, and then that just cost him. You can go wide and you can cut it back, but he just went a bit too wide there.
So Bagnaia up to 4th now. I have to say, I'm not going to call it a champion's ride as such, but it's been a sensible ride, hasn't it, from Pecco Bagnaia to this point. Acosta is really being creative here in terms of his lines.
Yeah. Well, we've got 12 laps to go. Can Bagnaia catch Alex Marquez?
What's the gap between
2.3? I'd have to say yes.
Yeah,
Enough laps, put it that way, to just get into your rhythm.
he had dropped into the 148s previously at Bagnaia, so let's see. He said that was the target, didn't he? When he spoke to Steve Day yesterday afternoon. He said podium's a possibility. So he pulled away very quickly from Acosta.
That's breaking an angle all the way. Angle. It's boring when you get to the apex.
You could see when it was the battle between Bagnaia and Binder, where Bagnaia was stronger. It'll be interesting to see this, won't it? Acosta taking his usual tighter entry lines. What does that mean here for the exit of the S? Well, actually, very, very matched, aren't they?
The longest straight of the year. 0.6 of a mile. Downhill all the way to the long third gear last corner. It's a great last corner. It's one of those corners on a racetrack that's a pleasure to ride around. So then you come up over this blind crest, run it out onto the curb. As opposed to, that's a beautiful corner. Turn 1's horrible. It's a real tight, nadgery, flat, no camber. You're trying to pull it back to open up turn 2.
Hey, I don't want to almost say it in this race, but turn 2 used to be the bogey corner, didn't it? And so far this weekend, it's been kind to the riders. Let's hope it stays like that for the remainder of this race. Bagnaya's taken a huge chunk out of Alex Marquez on that previous lap. I think you're right about him being able to claw the gap down. 1.6 now, the gap between Marquez and Bagnaia.
Looking at Alex Marquez, his bike's moving around a lot under acceleration, and I can see some dark graining on both sides of Alex Marquez's tyre.
Hunt is on for Bagnaia. Alex Marquez is his prey. These are important championship points. Looks like he's going to be losing come what may to Jorge Martin today, who will leave as the championship leader by the looks of things, barring a big mistake. I love how this championship's swinging back and forth every single week, from one day to the next, from weekend to the next. It's a real ding-dong affair. I think Bagnaia would be satisfied with a third place, considering how the weekend's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think also we've got Misano coming up next, and I just think that's advantage for Bagnaia, and the fact that we go there twice, I mean, it really gives him a big advantage. But then it's the big unknown of what comes next. Going to places like Mandalika, that never gets used. If they think this track's dirty and low grade, wait till we get to Mandalika, because what we've learned every time we've been there is that's a narrow racing line, super slick. I remember watching the World Superbike race there, which was like watching a wet race. It was the narrowest of racing lines.
Yeah, Jorge Martin won't have fond memories of Indonesia, would he? It's one of those that what might have been for him. And Pecco Bagnaia from 13th on the grid had an absolute stunner, didn't he, when it looked like Martin was going to in cruise control. Yeah, there were those moments in the season. That was one of them, wasn't it? Qatar being another one later on, but Indonesia, Martin, that could have been the difference right there. It was so tricky last year. Of course, we've got, as you said, 2 visits to Misano where Pecco Bagnaia has taken as many laps as Marc Marquez has around Aragon.
Yeah, he's so good down there.
His last win, though, Marc Marquez came in Misano.
Yeah, it did.
In
On the Honda?
21.
Yeah, you're right.
But the Honda was always front-endy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you just feel like the Ducatis, as we know, has made such a step. And Bagnaia won the Ducati Race of Champions there probably about 6 weeks ago.
Scores to settle then.
We won't talk about what Marquez did there.
Well, yeah, Nicola Buluga won't be in the race. Everyone will be pleased to see that. There's Marc Marquez.
I don't think there were contacts, said one person. Funny how that works in a racing incident where someone cleans another rider out. The rider who's done the knocking off always goes, no, I don't think there were contact.
That's deep.
Tell you what, that's deep, and also his tyre's looking marked on the right hand side. But it will do, won't it? It will be. That's the reality of this point in the race. He's still in the 48s. Let's look at what, he's pretty much half a second faster there than Jorge Martin.
Yeah, Martin, let's have a look at his tyres. Just the right-hand edge of the front tyre.
Yeah, the fronts are the worst. It's always bad if you end up wearing your rear tyre out. So is Bagnaia, as you can see, not marking on the rear tyre. But you can still cope with it. It's when you wear that front tyre out, then you're in trouble. Then it's a long race.
Further down the order, Costa still 5th, still ahead of Binder. Marco Bezzecchi is quicker than the 2 KTM riders in front in 7th. Then Morbidelli is still in 8th. 1.4 back to Enea Bastianini, fastest rider on circuit, but he's in 9th, 17 seconds behind Marquez. Digi rounds out the top 10, then it's Miller. Alessia Spargrove's just got past Taka Nakagami. He's having another great ride. I have to say, top Honda in this one, with Alex Rins the company, and then Johan Zarco, his teammate, is rounding out the front scoring positions ahead of Augusto Fernandez, Joan Mir, Raul Fernandez back in 18th, and Maverick Vinales did retire from the race.
Yeah, with 9 laps to go, this could be a record distance where the Japanese manufacturers finish the race behind the winner. I mean, we've got 9 laps to go, and Taka Nakagami is the #1 Japanese manufacturer up there at the moment, and he's 29 seconds behind.
There is Alex Marquez being stalked by Pecco Bagnaia. The gap is well under a second now. 0.7 through the third split. Alex Marquez always gone well here. Remember him on the Repsol Honda?
Almost won. of a tyre looks like. Yeah, that does not feel nice. So that's the left-hand side of the tyre. It's all left-handers around here.
The asymmetric hard edge, in theory.
That will feel super slick, really greasy. But I think everyone will look the same.
Yeah. Like Mark, Alex has done thousands of laps around this place. He knows, and you can see some lines that he's taking are very different to those that Bagnaia is. But Bagnaia has become a specialist around here. Never forget that scrap with Marc Marquez here in 2021, and another one the following year, didn't he? Last time we came with Bastianini.
Yeah, it's Bagnaia's first ever win.
Yeah.
He's had 25 of them now. The same number as Kevin Schwantz. Not bad at this point in your career to have had as many Premier Class wins as the great legend that is Kevin Schwantz.
On board with Pecco. Straight, gap down to 0.2 of a second across the line. It's a sitting duck at the moment, is Alex Marquez. But the same thing rings true as we saw earlier in this race. It's not going to be easy to pass Alex Marquez.
No, not at all.
Just have to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially now with 7 laps to go. Pulling away from Acosta behind him anyway. You know, Acosta's sort of regrouped. And there's a bit of a gap now between him and Binder. I thought Binder was definitely going to get past him. That said, you still won't want Binder behind you. It's 0.6 of a second. He will be definitely wanting to be the top KTM hole. It's teammates for next year. I know they get on really well, but the rivalry will be strong. Two real hard chargers.
On board with Pecco Bagnaia, eating the ground up for the Grassini, Ducati. Like he won the championship on last year, of course, the 23 package. I love the tongue-in-cheek, I'm sure it was tongue-in-cheek from Jorge Martin interview that he gave yesterday saying, oh, the 23 is better here this weekend.
Yeah, that was a funny one, that, wasn't it? You're like, well, a 20-round championship, if at one round that is correct, I think it's advantage you.
This is where he will really take big strides. Look at that in the little flip-flop, and suddenly when the power goes to the ground, he could be fast by the final corner. I wonder how much, though, having no data from last year was played into this weekend.
It seems to really worked against the factory team.
He did all right there, didn't he?
Yeah, actually the lap before I saw the same. But a lot of that could be down to the electronic strategy you're running at this point in the race as well.
Well, Alex knows that he's got company. His brother has now a 4-second lead over Jorge Martin. These two are 11 seconds behind Mark. For podium honours. Through turn 5. There is Gigi Dall'Igna. Carlo Mellini on the right, he's the commercial director down there at Grassini. They're all very calm at the moment. Are they about to register a double podium? Their first Grand Prix win of the season with Marc Marquez. Alex has already had one podium, I remind you. They've already been up there together in Saxony. So right there, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Second and third. They'd take a first and third. Oh, it's a mistake. The bike's kicked there. He did well to get it stopped. He's gone wide.
Yeah.
It was always going to happen as soon as you lost it there. But
motorcycle. Alex Marquez was trying to recover it, having gone wide, and he's taken out Bagnaia. Oh my goodness me! That is huge for the championship.
Horrible. They both got locked. Unfortunately, it's all down onto the track being dirty. Pecco got a proper whack there with a bike on the back of the head. So look, Alex Marquez goes wide. And then it's side by side into this corner. I tell you what, he's horrible. Trapped under the bike for quite a bit there. Oh no, I hope he's okay.
I sincerely do hope that he is okay. That's right in front of the Marquez stand. And they're both frustrated with each other, but again, Alex had Bagnaia in front of him in the middle of that corner, but he was back onto the line.
Yeah, the reality is, my initial thoughts, we've seen it twice now, it's a racing incident. It's, as you've gone wide, you're then going to have the inside for the next corner. Bagnaia's coming in, and you both attack it, really. But the issue is, the track's so dirty there, we saw the big crash with Joe Roberts on that part of the track. So you get to the inside, and then it pushes you. Look at his leathers all ripped open. That's because his arm was trapped in the bike. If he's not got an injury, well, it's just incredible. So yeah, loses it on the brakes, loses control. He has to release the brake a little bit. He's wide. So then he can't see Bagnaia. He can't see Bagnaia. Can't see Bagnaia. Then Bagnaia's out. He's already hooked. There is nothing he could do about that. You are looking to the inside. Oh, and how Alex Marquez gets ragdolled. Look, your head's on the inside. It happens so quick. Look at that.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I hate to see it. I hate to see it.
That's just not fair for both riders. Just one of those weird, freaky incidents that happens in racing. You can't blame one rider. They're both going for the same bit of tarmac. Alex Marquez is off the bike on the inside, looking to where he wants to be going. Can't believe that's happened. What a mess.
Wow, with another 7 races in the next 9 weekends. Let's hope they're both not injured, because this could be a huge tail of the tape in the championship, because Jorge Martin, if he just brings it home now, will have a 23-point advantage over Pecco Bagnaia in the championship. That's a big swing, unpredictable as well.
Biggest swing we've seen for quite a while. I don't know how far back we're going to go since we've had a gap like that, because it has been literally to and fro for the last 5 rounds.
Well, I suppose it's when Jorge crashed out of the lead in Sachsenring and Pecco won the race. That was the big chunk eaten into by Bagnaia. Wow, what drama here.
If you could watch that crash again in super slow-mo and go through literally every stage of it, both riders are so lucky how they didn't manage to. If you got your arm caught in the back wheel, or you know, when you're tangled in with bikes like that, that's when it does proper damage. I mean, I know it's too early to say, but thankfully both riders look okay.
While all that's been going on, Pedro Acosta looks to have sealed 3rd now. He's got a 2nd over Brad Binder, and Ea Bastianini's up to 5th place ahead of Morbidelli, with Bezzecchi dropping into 7th, and at the front, Marc Marquez is in cruise mode.
What did we say? We've been talking about it early on in the weekend in the free practice sessions. We've got 8 Grand Prix races in 10 weekends. What's really important at this point in the season is you need luck, but avoiding injury, avoiding big crashes. That's going to be a great angle of it. So he can't see him, he doesn't realise it. Before he knows it, he's hooked in. You might say, well, he's behind him, surely he can see him. From that angle, you go, that's Alex Marquez's fault, definitely. Watch what happens now, just look at this. Bear in mind, we're doing about 80 miles an hour now.
Airbags have gone off. I mean, that could be anything there for Pecco, couldn't it?
Yeah, MotoGP bike weighs about 23 stone. Don't want to be lying underneath one of them when they're sliding down the track.
A real dramatic moment then in this MotoGP World Championship in 2024 as Pecco Bagnaia and Alex Marquez collide. Bagnaia will score 0 points, while his title rival Jorge Martin is going to score 20. I haven't even mentioned Marc Marquez out front, looking set to break his championship duck, which has raged for nearly 3 years now, because that almost is the bigger story at the moment about the reigning world champion being 23 behind Martin.
Yeah, the 20-round championship with 40 races, you need no bad luck. And for Bagnaia there, that's the first time we've seen a bit of bad luck for quite some time. We've seen unforced errors, we've seen you know, riders crashing out in races on their own. I'm talking about this man and I'm talking about Bagnaia, but that was just one of those. You can't really avoid those situations.
It will be the first time off the podium, as Jorge Martini tells Focus, first time off the podium for Bagnaia in a Grand Prix since the USA, when he was 5th. Alex Marquez back to his garage. I'm sure he'll be back to congratulate his brother on the performance he's put in today. 5 seconds the gap for Marc Marquez to end that winless run in Grand Prix. 5 seconds to Jorge Martin, who mustn't make his own mistake in this situation. I'm sure the team will have told Martin.
Yeah, at this point now, if you're Marc as well, the race is done. You are just cruising round. You won't believe it. Plus 5 seconds, 2 laps to go.
Just a word on Marc this weekend, Neil. I know you had a lot to say about it yesterday again, but everything he's been through, and then just what he's done. How has he made the difference this weekend?
Well, he's talked about perfect weekends. He needs perfect weekends. We know he goes well on anti-clockwise tracks. This is one of them. But the anti-clockwise tracks we've been to so far this year, he's not gone quite well. He hasn't had the perfect weekend. They've had mechanical issues. He's had crashes. But from the very opening laps, he's just looked another level. Do you know what he's looked like a little bit? He's looked like the Marc we expected when he jumped on the Ducati, that maybe he could actually dominate a little bit this year. That's not been the case, but this is more like the Marc of old, the Marc at his best.
It feels like the machinery this year has taken away anything of it, but it's maybe been a leveller this weekend, and maybe a bit more into his camp because it's a place that he goes around so well, and with the track conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. The track conditions have worked for him. We've had all the rain overnight, washing the rubber off this new surface. It's meant that he's able to use his ability rather than just using the bike and traction control and all that stuff. But yeah, it's very, very impressive to see. I mean, some people say we talk about him too much, but I mean, he's not won a Grand Prix since 2021. He's had 4 operations since then. He's had diplopia, which is a detached retina from the back of his eye. I mean, he's been through the wars like you can't even imagine. And then there's been all the crashes around that as well. The other huge crashes that he's had.
He's also had to give up a contract. He's had to leave his family in Honda. He's had to let them down in the middle of a contract and move and make a brave move, you have to say, to a satellite team in Gresini Ducati. But it's all coming to fruition today. Frankie Calcioni can't look, but there's just half a lap remaining in this Grand Prix of Aragon. Since Marc Marquez last won a Grand Prix, we've had 4 different Prime Ministers. We celebrated the Platinum Jubilee for the Queen, and we've crowned a new king. Manchester City have won 5 major trophies. England men's cricket have won 2 World Cups. Max Verstappen's won 3 F1 championships. By the way, Pecco Bagnaia has won 23 Grand Prix and 2 World Championships in the meantime. And yet Marc Marquez is still coming back. You mentioned all the operations he's been through. You mentioned all the problems that they've been over the last couple of years. But he's back. He's still going for it. He still wants it. And that much is clear. And next year, he will get the full opportunity to challenge for the championship again.
And he will entertain. He will throw everything at it. There's his mum. What a feeling.
This is going to be so emotional for us there, his mum, for Julia, his father, his girlfriend Gemma, and all of the Marc Marquez fans who have filled Motoland Aragon this weekend. Over 100,000 over the weekend. The drought is finally over in the desert land of Aragon. Marc Marquez is back, and he does it with a strongman sign over the line. The arm that wasn't working 3 years ago has proved that he can do it once more. Marc Marquez wins 1,043 days later in the Grand Prix at home in Aragon. Jorge Martin makes huge strides in the championship with 2nd place. Pedro Acosta takes yet another podium in 3rd. That's his 3rd of the year. Brad Binder is 4th and Enea Bastianini is 5th. But with Pecco Bagnaia out of the race in a collision with Marc's brother Alex, he's looking, I think, for his brother. It's huge for the championship, but the story still has to be Marc Marquez ending his winless streak.
Absolutely. I mean, just a class act, absolute class act. So many people making mistakes this weekend on this really tricky race circuit with that new surface, and Marc made it look easy. Another level, the Marc of old. It was great to see. I didn't know if we'd see it again, genuinely. At the start of the season, I thought we were definitely going to. Then I started to even doubt my own thoughts, but no, it's great to see him back at the top step, and plenty more exciting races to come.
We're getting the tyre pressure sensor issues. Raul Fernandez, Jack Miller and Fabio Di Giannantonio.
Bombshell, Marc Marquez.
Oh yeah, I was just about, well, it's becoming in order. I'm thinking it's not going to be. Surely, if you're at the front of the race, everything should be okay. So, as we just run down through the order, Di Giannantonio really good, dislocated shoulder 7th, Bezzecchi 8th. Behind, that's a bit of a disappointment. Alex Rins in 9th. That's great, isn't it, on the Yamaha?
From literally nowhere. That's fantastic.
Well, in fact, his lap time at the end, fastest rider pretty much, apart from Bastianini on that last lap. Miller was 10th. That could change though with Di Giannantonio, Miller. Alacia Spargaro 11th, Nakagami 12th, Augusto 13th, Zarco 14th, Mir is 15th with Raul Fernandez and Luca Marini out of the points. Alex Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia, the big crash with 5.5 laps remaining. Maverick Vinales retired, and Fabio Quartararo and Miguel Oliveira both crashed out. The right arm is the story here, isn't it, for Marc Marquez, of what he's had to go through since Jerez 2020 and to get back to this moment.
I remember the one, I think it was Mugello, where he announced he was at the end of that weekend. He's like, I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna go to America. I'm gonna end my season now. I'm gonna have this pioneering operation. They can't guarantee it's gonna work, but I can't continue like this. Do you remember watching him around that period, looking awkward on the back with his elbow up? He looked really uncomfortable. He was still pushing. He was still crashing. People criticised him for that, but the operation worked. Do you know what though? I tell you what, you do see every weekend. He has issues with his shoulders still. He is constantly working on the arm. He's always doing these weird stretches, and it's still not 100%.
He's up to 3rd in the championship as well with that victory, ahead of an Aya Bastianini. 70 back on Martin. I don't think he's going to battle for the championship this year. I don't know whether you agree with me on that one. Just because of the package, I don't think the package is there for him. But he's taken his 60th win in the Premier class now. And I've got a feeling, I wasn't even sure if that was going to come, but I'm sure there'll be more to come this year for him and Ducati.
Yeah.
He's 86th of his Grand Prix career.
I've just realised his brother crashed right in front of the fan club as well.
Let's have a listen. It's Marc Marquez.
The fan club as well.
He's going on a scooter here. What's the story? They've got something planned. The fact that they planned something,
I hope it's good.
No, but it also suggests they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
He was that confident. We were all confident that this sort of thing would happen. He's going to get into the stands. I'm certain of it. Mark's going to get up into the grandstands with his fans. And I expect it's, you know, he is someone who his fans absolutely adore him and everything that he does.
Oh no. Oh no.
Not dancing.
Oh no, it's not the dancing. What a feeling, eh?
Look at that. How good does that look? How good must that feel, Neil?
Oh. Do you know what though? That's all the pain, all the suffering means nothing. Worth every bit. Times it by 10. I've not got a problem, because that's the drug. That's what you can't buy. You can't buy that. He's a multi-millionaire. He's an 8 times world champion, but he's prepared to risk everything for this moment. What a showman. Dancing's appalling though.
I want to see you do better.
Oh,
that sounds like the gauntlet's been thrown down. Drink it in, Marc Marquez. First win for nearly 3 years. First for Ducati, first for Grassini.
And it was almost like yesterday with the sprint race win. He couldn't almost let his guard down and do all this because he wanted the official Grand Prix win. He's delivered. Topped every session except the morning warm-up where he only did one lap and came in. So parked it, so there was no point.
He didn't actually set a lap time, so he didn't take part.
It didn't count. So Gav, I'm going to ask you a question. We're at Misano in 5 days. Can he?
It's, I just, with it being the sort of track it is, slow, stop-starty, Pecco Bagnaia being on really home soil there, I don't see it. The big winner out of all of it is Jorge Martin, isn't he, in this situation? He said yesterday Mark was making the difference. Pecco said the same. But he knows that is so satisfying.
I hope Pecco's okay.
Yeah.
What you hate in this situation is for like him to have to miss a round now or something like that. I want the person who wins this championship to win it out of sheer speed, not through someone missing a round by having an injury.
It hasn't worked all weekend, has it, for Pecco Bagnaia? It will be one to forget for Bagnaia and for Ducati, picking up out of a possible 37 points. Just a solitary one. It
was such a shame because Pecco had the perfect race, working his way through, being patient. He was being patient. Alex Marquez made that mistake. It sort of opened the door. Of course he went for it. Why wouldn't you go for it?
And he didn't have to go off the racing line.
No, he stayed on the racing line. The issue was Alex Marquez was off the racing line. Less grip. Couldn't see him there because it's a right-hand corner, so he's off the inside of the bike. I know I'll be getting slated. People will say that I'm defending him just for the sake of it. I'm not. I'm always honest. Still on a regular basis, on the very same day, on the same feed, get told that I hate Marc Marquez, and then I get told that I love Marc Marquez. All I try and do is say what I say and be as honest as I can.
The last win came on the Honda in Misano. Just won a race for the first time since then. Go back to Misano next time, right into Ducati territory. Of course, the factory will be riding for next year. Down the road from Bologna, about an hour down the road to the Rimini Riviera, as Ducati and Gresini can celebrate MotoGP win number 60 for Marc Marquez. Season saying, I just want to enjoy myself.
I think he is.
I think he's absolutely loving moments like these, Neil.
I was looking at the championship standings now. I'm trying to see where the next 23 Ducati is.
It's Digit 7th, but with a tyre pressure.
No, sorry, in the championship.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
It's Fabio Di Giannantonio in ninth in the championship on 113 points. Mark 6. Double the points. Third. Girlfriend will like it, she's never seen him win before. She thought it was all high. I need proof, he said. I need proof. Backed it up.
To get the record booked out.
But honestly, I used to win every weekend. It was weird. And actually it came quite easy.
Carmelo Espeleta down there.
The
mogul, of course, of Formula One, MotoGP. He knows what it means to the championship to have a strong Marc Marquez. That was nice from Jorge Martin. I'm happy for you.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's nice. Mutual respect.
Fourth Spanish podium here in Aragon.
We need to try and speak to Frank Carcetti. Check the flag if we can.
If you fall asleep with all the adrenaline and
he's going to be really well this week. You won't find a more passionate person in the paddock, Frankie. He's a worrier.
I think we're going to hear from Pedro Costa, who had to scrap so hard to take that first podium for a long time for Acosta.
Pedro, we'll see him in a minute. Pedro, that looked like a difficult race to manage grip-wise. How does it feel to be back on the podium?
For sure, one of the best of the season, you know. We was needing this this feeling, you know, to feel competitive again. I mean, I always say that we cannot here to burn fuel and make laps, you know. Minimum we need to compete for this. It's true that today was tough to achieve a podium, but anyway, we was feeling competitive again, was missing a bit here, a bit there, but we just thank to all KTM, to all the team, because they are making an awesome job. I know that the last couple of races were not easy for no one, and we are taking the pace again for this. Let's try to keep in this way because they deserve it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, his first podium for Pedro Acosta since the trucky race for you in the USA, behind Maverick Vinales, in a main race.
Yeah, it's even longer than I thought. Fifth in the championship. And it was a tough race for him, that. You can see that. Didn't have the pace to go with the catches at the front.
Yeah, 14.9 behind Marquez in the end, 10 behind Martin. I'll tell you what, we haven't been able to speak much about Martin, but after a crashing qualifying, a really great performance to take second.
Jorge, it's such a difficult weekend for most people. Some struggled, you were fast, and you managed that situation fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a difficult start. I started spinning from the first meters. So then I lost some positions. I tried to recover fast, but I saw overtaking Pedro, I almost crashed, so I had to wait wide. From that point, I saw Mark was pulling away. I just tried to keep a good pace, and yeah, I was trying to just I was focused on the feeling, trying to understand the good line. But yeah, second was the maximum today. It was a long race. After you know, the last 8 laps were quite long being alone, but finally, I'm happy for Mark because after such a long period, I'm so happy for him, and really happy for me for being here in the podium again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Magnanimous in defeat from Martin. Talked about second, and you said that's the key to winning championships, knowing when second's in. He's had 5 in the last 7 races without a win. Hasn't won since France. Here's Pecco Bagnaia. Looks fine. Okay.
Looks fine. So does Alex.
It's incredible. If they are both okay, it's testament, isn't it, to the kit that they're wearing. Let's hear from Mark and how that feels after nearly 3 years out of the mix.
Mark, in Austria, I think you were exceptional, and here you were untouchable. How does it feel to stand on the top step again?
Yeah, it was an amazing race. Muchas gracias, Aragon. La verdad, it's incredible to win in front of these amazing fans, and yeah, today was super difficult race, especially because when you have the pace, but then with the gap it was difficult to full focus on the riding, especially last 10 laps. But okay, I was able to manage well the gap. I had something more there on the pocket just in case, as we see in the middle of the race. But yeah, happy and. Thanks, gracias Aragon. El año que viene nos vemos otra vez. Esto acaba de empezar.
Huge congratulations.
Well, that sounds like an embarrassment of riches when you've got something else in your pocket and you have to concentrate because you're at least 5 seconds ahead of the next rider. We don't see it in this sport very often. What a weekend for Marc Marquez.
Untouchable all weekend. From first practice to the first laps in this racetrack, you knew he felt at one with the bike. The low grip, it always has worked for him. If we turn up in Argentina back in the Honda days, he just made it look easy. And this weekend, he's had that perfect weekend, which we haven't seen since 2019. And now I think he's going to go from strength to strength. I do agree with Neil and Gav. Maybe he doesn't have the material to battle for the title race, but he can drink it in and enjoy it here at home in Aragon. And yeah, loving being with the fans. And he just seems to be enjoying himself going racing at the moment.
Yeah, he's 70 points off the top spot. It's a tall order, but it's not unthinkable, really, when we've got another 8 rounds to go, and there's plenty of points up for grabs. And we've seen today, anything can happen, really. But this story, it really is exceptional. I mean, you've talked about his form in 2019, obviously, since 2021, the last victory that we saw in Emilia-Romagna. My goodness me, that tello is quite loud, isn't it? I hope it's not too loud for you at home and you can still hear us, but a fantastic shot to him celebrating. You know, last year he didn't even know whether he's going to enjoy racing a motorcycle anymore, so he thought he'd go to the Brusini for a slightly easy ride, really, without any pressure. And to see if he would enjoy it, you could see straight away after the test even that, you know, he was going to love it with Ducati. But I think I mentioned it on the grid, it's not just a MotoGP story, this is a comeback story of sport. To go through what he's going through, and the boys were talking about diplopia, the double vision. The actual threat was, if you get it again, you could go blind. It's not a passing thing that's just like getting an eye infection. Then there was the humerus bone, broken. He had to have it re-broken. 4 procedures it took to get it how he wanted it to. They literally cut his arm in half and turned it 30 degrees. I mean, sorry, it's just an extraordinary comeback story, isn't it, really, Michael? And what
Itu ini ya, mau rapat ya? Kacamata lagi.
Banyak, di sini yang ikut ya. Oh ini kayaknya mungkin cuma makan orang. Tuan, dan pernah sewang kan cuman di rumah sakit kan, masih pelabuhan. Dengan kunci di mana? Di jero. kurang ya dulu.
Aragon.